we were working on a golf cart. We were working on a go-kart. That Kart or go-kart, I got it going, got it out of here. We got this Polaris Xplorer 300 two-stroke that we've been working on. Alright, so I haven't been on the channel for a while, especially with any of this stuff. Been doing it behind the scenes, but I've been working on stuff for people. This turned into a engine job as it started out as a carb job. She was having some carb trouble. Got the carburetor running good, and then the Polaris did what it's notorious for, which is needing a top end rebuild. Except the piston skirt exploded on this one, which I'm sure you'll see. I'll post it in the video. Alright, so we got our piston soaking in oil. Got our wrist pin soaking in oil. We're going to start assembling the case halves. So for the case halves, I'm using Moto Seal gasket maker, fuel resistance. One reason this is good is because this literally says ideal for case halves. So just to get a reference, about $11 tube at your local AutoZone store. AutoZone, Advanced, whatever you like to use. They didn't give me no nozzle for this, so we're actually going to apply it That's the same color they had on there. So what we're doing now is just getting enough on there to spread around with a tool. You want this to get tacky a little bit, so you're going to apply it a little and let it dry a little while. Clean, dry, sweet. Apply continuously to both surfaces. Alright, to both surfaces. Smooth material with small brushes allowed to set for 1 minute. Yeah, well, I believe the 1 minute of setting is going to take a while, because more than 1 minute, because you fucking got it. Takes longer than that to fit on both pieces. So a minimum of 1 minute to set. Moto Seal gasket maker. Fuel resistant. Permatex. Ideal for case halves, resistant to all automotive fuels. Alright, even better, we got a paintbrush. Okay, once you get a nice flat bead of a gasket maker on there, you're going to want to stick your halves together. There, I'm pretty sure that shim goes there. I ain't got time to worry about it right now. I got to put it together before that shit gets too dry. Okay, 17 to 18 foot-pounds. We got our set here. And you're going to start by doing number 1 on the bottom. Then you got number 2 right here. Number 3 right here. The hole. You want to make sure they're kind of evenly together. And number 5, which is nowhere fucking near. Okay, so start back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold your wire in place. So, back through. We're going for that 18 pound, which is right there. Still ain't heard her click yet. 2, 3. Oops. So the 3's already there. 4. Kind of hard to do with the engine sitting up on its side. So we're going to Really? That quick? Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't damage your wire. Go through them again. 1, 2, up by the hose, 3 by the back, 4 by the front hose, 5. Alright, there we got our crankcase together. Once you get it together, make sure everything rotates good like it should. Stick your finger in that rod. Sounds great. Boom, there we go. Alright, so we got our head gasket on, which is going to get torqued down to 25 to 29 foot-pounds. Jug inspection. I'll lube her up a little. So the way the rings, the gap's already set, but I know you guys can't see it, but there's these little pins there. You can either push your ring up against, or you can put it in the middle, like that. Either way, the rings will stop themselves from hitting. So you want your wrist, or your bearing in. Now you want your arrow facing out towards the recoil side. See this arrow? Now this is a 75 over numero piston is what I guess they call it. Get your wrist pin in halfway. You're going to put your little clips in. Alright, these little fuckers. Alright, that one is seated. And I guess that's practice makes perfect. So the second one's in. And make sure they are seated properly. I wouldn't think that opening would go at that gap, right? Oh, that wouldn't be right. Opening don't go at the gap. So when you put those in, the opening should go at the top of, towards the piston. Alright, perfect. We got those little clips facing towards the top. And like I said, this is advice I heard from other people. I do got a book there, but it does not say what direction to put them in. So, here's the controversy. People like to put a head gasket maker on a head gasket. So here's the thing. These things are set to a certain thickness for compression. If you put a head gasket maker on it, believe me, it does set the thickness to a different thickness. So, do not put a head gasket maker on your head gasket. You want both your rings clocked in these points. Alright, now these rings have been set correctly within the tolerance spec. What that means is they're taken off, they're put inside the jug, and then they take a filler gauge and you measure between the gap, and then check the chart that they give you and see whether it's within the tolerance range for this spec of this quad or this engine. There's a little sheet, I'll show you. And I've already done that. I'm sorry I didn't record any of that or taking it apart. But like I said, I hadn't been doing stuff like this. But here's how you reference your piston to cylinder wall clearance and then your ring end gap. Now your piston to cylinder wall clearance is how far you got to here compared to how wide the piston is. All within spec. Now normally you would have a sleeve on this that holds these rings in place. But we're going to try to do it by hand. It's going to be almost impossible. Oh, look at that. Went right on. And just as easy, one came out. This is why you want plenty of oil in your cylinder as she slides on up. Just like that. Woo-hoo. So before I tighten it down, I want to show you. Before you tighten it down, you want to check, make sure that you got good cylinder wall and ring gap clearance. Another good way to tell, just a second check. Now mind you, I ain't got the head bolted. But look at that bad boy. No shaking whatsoever. 75 bore, ooh. Okay, so that went on super easy. Don't tell anybody I said that. We got good stroke. So as you can see, it's wiping the oil going up, dragging it back down. Alright, so now that we got the head on in like 2 seconds, the bottom bolts are 25 to 29 pounds. You know, I always like to go to the tightest. $25 to 29 pounds. There's 25. Four passes. 29. Alright, so you got these 4 bolts that go back on. The bad thing is I can't torque these. Oh no. Because I don't have a torque wrench. How am I supposed to get that on there? Know what I'm saying? You want to get these evenly tight. Yeah, I'm not going to get that. That sucks. Well, I guess I'm not torquing these down to spec. I mean, I don't know how to torque wrench or actual wrench. So you want to go across from each other, just little increments. Like quarter turns, I would say. Starting back at the beginning position. Alright. I'm not gonna lie, I probably will go get a torque ratchet or wrench or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Alright, make sure she's clear down in there. Oh yeah, she's got good compression already. Bottom end compression. Alright, so we got a polished head here. Get our gasket. Don't lose your other gasket there. This gasket would be metal. It's like a metallic, maybe? Galvanized metallic, maybe? These usually go one way. They'll be marked which way's up. Usually. The original is. This one is not marked. It's not water, it's WD-40. Alright, so the junk gasket they gave me makes me want to put this one back on. But I won't do it, even though I know I should. You want to keep that junk out of the piston. So we're going to get some air over here. So this, you don't want to damage this gasket. It's got a mesh in it. Alright, so here we got our polished head, which was an added bonus. I didn't have to do that, but I did it for you. Give you a little extra power. You want this towards the front. Alright, now this is your head. $12mm. Once I get these tight, I'll show you the direction to tighten. Don't forget the front is facing towards you guys. Okay, just so nothing gets down in there, I'm going to go ahead and put the spark plug in. Just to prevent anything from falling in the hole. I'm going to screw it all the way in. One, two, three. You can hug. This is number 4. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the front. 6 towards the back. These get tightened down to 18 to 20 foot-pounds, and we can use the torque wrench on these ones. So we're going to go ahead and set it to 20. So starting back with 1, a little bit, 2 is a little bit, 3, 4, 5 is back towards the front, 6 is in the back. Good. I guess it's closing up. Alright, and back to 1. 2. 3. Ooh. Didn't want to be at 20 pounds yet. 4. 5. 6. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. And you don't want to over tighten these. So 20 pounds is good enough. Take that spark plug out. Oh yeah, she sounds great. So now that I got it all back together, I'm going to squirt a little WD-40 . Remember, that's how this thing gets lubricated. Oh yeah, she's making good compression. Well, that's all we're going to do for tonight. The bolts look good. That's good.